Okay, so picture this, a university course where the subject isn't history or chemistry, it's you. A class where the entire curriculum is designed to help you explore the most complicated, fascinating topic there is, yourself. That is exactly what we're diving into today, a really unique journey inward. But first, I have a question for you. Who's actually driving your life? I mean, really think about it. For a lot of us, if we're being honest, we're not really in the driver's seat. We're kind of just passengers, right? Going along for the ride, letting our habits and old reactions call the shots. So, how do we take the wheel? Here's the roadmap for this explainer. We're going to start with that journey inward. Then we'll look at how to uncover your own personal story. After that, we'll get into some really practical tools for the path. And finally, we'll talk about how you can become your own guide. So, our first step is all about a fundamental shift in how we see things. It's about moving from just getting by, just surviving day to day, to actually living a life that feels intentional and full of purpose. The whole philosophy behind this is that you are the main event. This isn't like a normal class. It's built entirely around your insights, your personal experiences, your goals. It's almost like a choose-your-own-adventure story where you're both the student and the subject. You know that feeling like you're on a mindless treadmill, just striving and striving to keep up? The goal here is to just step off that treadmill completely. It's about moving past just enduring your life and actually starting to thrive in it, to enjoy it. And that shift leads us right into the heart of it all, uncovering your story. The really powerful idea here is that life isn't just a series of things that happens to us. Nope. It's a narrative. It's a story. And you have the power to be the author. As the writer William Zinsser said, writing is a search mechanism. It's a way to get at what the famous psychologist Carl Jung called our personal unconscious. All the stuff we know deep down, but we don't realize we know. By starting to write our story, we finally begin to understand it. Now, this process actually has a name, autoethnography. It sounds a little academic, I know, but it's really just about looking at your personal story and seeing how it connects to the bigger world around you. The real goal is to write the book that you yourself need to read the most. You're creating your own guide from your own life. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But how do we actually do it? Let's get practical and explore two really powerful tools we can use for this whole journey of self-discovery. Our first tool actually starts with a really simple story about a 7-year-old boy. Every single night, he would make a little bed for himself and sleep on the floor right outside his parents' bedroom. It was just his habit, something he did without thinking. But then one morning, he asks this incredibly deep question. He wasn't asking them for the answer. He was asking about himself. And that, right there, is a perfect example of contemplation, just calmly observing our own behaviors and getting genuinely curious about where they come from. And we can totally apply that little boy's curiosity to our own lives. I mean, think about a habit you have, like maybe negative self-talk. When does it pop up? Where might that have come from? What's the real insight hiding underneath? Just by asking, why am I the kind of person who does this? We can start to uncover the hidden wiring behind our actions. All right, the second tool is all about finding space. Because let's be real, life can often feel like you're in a leaky boat in the middle of a river. You're so busy bailing out water, all the stress, the worries, the distractions, that you have zero energy left to actually pick up the oars and row where you want to go. So how do we stop bailing? Well, we need to understand the difference between happy places and sacred spaces. Happy places are like rest stops on the highway, a great movie, a fun night out with friends. They give us a temporary escape. But sacred spaces, they're the destination. That's where we turn inward to find real insight, calm, and a connection to ourselves. So how do you get to that sacred space, especially when you're stressed out of your mind? There's a pretty simple 3-step process. First, use a happy place to just take the edge off and shift your mood. Put on some music, go for a walk. Second, do something nice for someone else. It gets the focus off of you. And third, with that new, calmer perspective, it's so much easier to enter your sacred space and listen to your own inner wisdom. Okay, so in our final section, we're going to see how all of this comes together. We'll look at how we can integrate these tools to really become the main guide on our own life's journey. And we can even use modern tools to help us. This course, for example, uses AI as a sort of research assistant. I love this analogy. Think of it like a friendly alien. It knows a ton of information, but it has zero actual wisdom. It's a great tool, for sure, but we always have to remember that we are the real instrument for growth. The insights have to come from us. And this really speaks to the ultimate goal of this entire journey. It reminds me of that amazing quote from Mark Twain. The two most important days of our life are the day we are born and the day we figure out why. This whole process of self-discovery, it's all about finding our why. So, we end up right back where we started, with you as the author. After exploring this journey inward and uncovering your own narrative and finding these tools for the path, the only question left is, what story will you write?